It's Ken here with MrTruck.com. And for this video series, I'm partnering with Transwest Truck Trailer RV north of Denver. And what we're trying to do is cover trailering tips. We know how dangerous trailers can be or how intimidating they can be. So we want to give you some advice, some tips, some special features that may make it easier for you to get used to it and do all the fun stuff. It's Ken with MrTruck.com and CJ from Transwest Truck Trailer RV up on I-25 north of Denver, and we're bringing you some more trailer tips. We want you to be safe. I want to be safe following you, and we're talking now about this third axle lift.
Our GM Andrew Lyons came up with it, is on, especially on these triple axles. You know, anytime we're dealing with triple axles and turning in tight areas, especially in summertime when it's real hot on these asphalt, you know, there's no give to it. So the best way for me to explain it is the axles almost fight each other as you're really turning these trailers around. So with this air dump, we can go in, we can pull the air from the back axle so that back axle just skates, and we can turn this around like a tandem axle, and we move the pivot point from here to now here as well when we dump that back axle.
Cool. Now Andrew Lyons kind of invented that and got Dexter talked into doing it, and that's about the only place you can buy the lift. Because you know, semis, you see them all the time with the back axle or back two axles going up, and that saves wear on the tire, and it also helps turn corners because you get three tires together and they're trying to bend the opposite directions. And it's,
yes.
I have tore asphalt clear out of a driveway with a semi one time turning too tight with triples. I mean, it's really hard to put double or duals on a horse trailer. So this one will actually lift up, and I don't know how many, does it take all the air out of it?
So what it does is we're taking the air from the bag itself. It's not gonna physically pick this, you know, tire up off the ground, but what it does is it gets to a point where it's lifted up and it'll just skate is what it'll do. You know, okay. So when we go to turn somewhere, you'll just notice that, you know, the first two tires are really turning and grabbing the asphalt, and this one just kind of glides almost. You can just watch it work around the trailer itself.
Well, that's cool. Instead of trying to twist far enough, and all that twisting going through all those corners, it's hard on your bearings, it's hard on your tires. And this way, you're only gonna, you know, you'll save some wear on this one axle. So you may just have to replace those and not this one. That'll save you some money, but it's a big thing in the semi industry. I'm so glad Andrew came up with it. And yours is such a good system. So we showed you the light up in the corner. You look at your driver's side, you see the little light off and on, tells you whether it's on or off.
Correct.
And it's all on a key fob. You hang onto your keys. So that way, if you hit a lot of corners, you can just keep doing that and save yourself some money and some expense. And this is just too cool. And these are big, these are 14 ply tires.
These are actually 18 plies on this one here.
Cow, yeah, 18 ply tires. You guys got them up and you fill them full of nitrogen. You do everything you need to make this a safe rig, and I appreciate that. And this, you know, this lift axle comes with, you know, you have to have airlift, the whole thing. And then, you know, they all got shock absorbers, airbags, and torsions. It's a hybrid, and I love that. And this way, you're saving money, and that's always a good thing. And then with that air ride, you know, everybody likes air ride. You got to ride in the back of these things. I'm going to test all that, but you just kind of float.
Yeah. And
it's so cool. I've been in the back of these, and it's a great system to have. And you also have onboard air if you need to air up tires or air up your beach balls or wherever you're at. And it's really great. And this is a wonderful trailer. So, CJ, how do they find you?
So you can go to our website, transwest.com, or you can give us a call. Anybody on the sales team can help you out. Our number is 303-684-3400.
Cool. And you want to order these in? It's a little cheaper that way when they put them out the factory?
Well, we do it exclusively here at Transwest.
Oh, you do the lift axle
here. So the
here.
trailer gets built, and then it comes to us, and we go ahead and put the air dump on it on this third axle. So it is something you get exclusively at Transwest, nowhere else.
Well, that's cool. They put the air system on, and you guys just do your thing.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that is so awesome. So if you want to get this lift axle and be the coolest one on your block and save you money and turn those corners nicely, instead of twisting, I had triple axles, I had a lot of flatbeds, and we were always doing this opposite way, bending and flexing, pain in the butt, and it actually loosened up the bearings. So it used to really be a pain in the butt, you know, and that's why the bigger trucks have duals, but you can't do that here. So this is the best option for you. I love this.
Don't go away, MrTruck.tv. We'll be right back.
So what we do when we put the air dump on is we actually have a remote control, but we want an indicator light. That's why we put it on driver's side so you can see it from the driver's seat in the rear view mirror. And when I go ahead and hit the on button to dump the air from the back axle, you'll notice that the light will come on. So it's a good way for you to look in the mirror, see that light, and say, okay, I don't have air to that back axle. And then when I go and hit the off button, it'll turn the light off, and it will now, the compressor will start forcing air to that back axle.
That's great. That's great for safety. So let me see the key fob there. Oh, that's awesome. It's just so you can hang on your keys or wherever, and you can do it all right there. That's awesome.
Exactly.
Because sometimes in real tight corners, you'll want to do it whenever you turn a tight corner.
Correct. I mean, it is something that with this air dump system, you do have to be careful. I mean, you do need to know how to operate it properly, because you have to remember when we have the air dumped out of that back axle, all that weight is on the first two axles. We don't really have that resistance that we do on that back axle. So if you really hit your brakes hard with that no resistance, you can flat spot a tire pretty easy.
Yeah, because not enough weight on it, so just lock up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Too cool. Okay, this video, truck's actually still turning the tight corner. You can see the tires going backwards. They're really tight. It's amazing how all this works. Now here too, we're taking the air out of the tire. Now watch that rear tire slide and straighten itself up. It's kind of being pulled. There you go. You see it straighten up. It's moving in because that was pulled to the outside. And when it gets all done straightening out, that's what it'd be like when you let the air out of that last axle and turn that tight corner. It just drags. It doesn't twist, doesn't bend like the front axle will. Right now it's pivoting on the center axle, and you let that air up, then it pivots between the front two axles. But it really is cool how it works. Now here you can see that the front axle, it's still twisted inward, and it'll twist in, the other one twists out, turn to the inside, to driver's side. But you can see how much twist it has in that tire, looking at the bottom of it. And then the other two, of course we let the air out of the third one, but the middle one, it doesn't get affected as much because that's where it pivots. But yeah, a lot of twisting going on, even on an 18-ply tire. That's a lot of plies. So it makes really stiff tires. And it can still twist them, all that action. And then you get a loaded trailer, you don't even twist even more because that asphalt will grab, especially in the summer. And it just holds your tire there and lets it flex a bunch. So you got a flexing sidewall, which eventually causes wear on those tires. So you can't beat having a lift axle like that. Basically just lets the air out of it and just lets it slide across the ground. Doesn't grab, doesn't do any of that the front axle does. But that's how that works. And hopefully you can see it here. We're straightening out or doing something. The tire's kind of moving around. But yeah, quite a difference in how these work. Now, I've had a lot of three-axle hay trailers on the farm, and that's how we did it with three axles. We actually could get by with more weight legally when they had the portable scales out running around in the old days from the DOT. But you can't always do singles, and my bearings would actually loosen up. The front axle and the rear axle would both loosen up the bearings, so I'd have to go retorque them, of course, and pack the grease and all that. So it's quite a difference when you can do this. The semis, of course, they lift it way up in the air. We don't really need to do that on here. You just need to let the air out of it so that they can just glide across there and not grab. You don't want traction on that axle in this case. It's not easy to take videos of this and take pictures of what it's doing, but it really is something to see. So hopefully you can see from some of these videos how much the tires flex, how much it changes when you let the air out of them. That's pretty awesome. There's that back one. It's standing straight up and down. And I was on a big long trailer like this. It is interesting. When you get a real tight turn, you actually start going backwards on the inside tires. But it has to move. It has to pivot. Okay, this is dumping the air out of the third axle. Seeing if it straightens up. You can see the bottom of the tire moving. And we're cranked, so we're at a tight angle. That's what it's like when you take the air out of it. And only you don't get this from Transwest. The only one has that system. It's one of their inventions, and Andrew came up with it. And this is still that same axle we showed last videos, where these axles are torsion and airbag and shock absorber. So you got the best of all the worlds on support, and just like what CJ was saying, you don't want to run around with all over the place with that tire with no air in the airbag, because you're not getting any supportive weight on there. So when you actually turn the corner, you want to put the air back in there, and then you're good to go for the long hauls that you might be doing. But yeah, these are the hybrid axles, what I call them. It's a great system to have. Now here, I'm trying to show you that flex, at least maybe some on the front and some on the back. They twist the opposite direction. Yeah, there you can see it. The tire's going inward. That's what it does. Now we'll get a close-up shot of the back tire. It's going outward. So you're pivoting like a regular old teeter-totter here, but that front one goes in, the third one goes out. And that's the angle that it twists. So this is still going forward, though. The trailer's going backwards on this side because of how long it is. So that was the whole goal here, is try to get enough angle pictures. And you can kind of see them in this picture here where they flex. The middle one looks straight up and down. That looks fine. The back one's flipping out. The front one's flipping in. And I used to see that really big time on my hay trailers, how much they would flex and all that. That's another thing that's good about this system, is that they all three axles equalize with the system, the air system. So you're basically transporting weight across all three, even through a pothole or all the rough roads you might go on. You still got all three axles working together, where you don't get that with just a regular torsion axle. But here on the back side of these, showing you the same thing, you'll see us taking the air out of that third axle. That's the one closest to it. And you'll see it straightening up. It's just sliding inward. And the tire will be straight up and down like it's supposed to be. So that's all it is. You can see it just gliding right across the asphalt on this. It might be concrete, kind of this road is. But anyway, it works good. It just helps. So hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe, come see us, come see CJ, and we'll see you. Merry Christmas.